experience I'm going to share with you. We have two people here this evening who just saw the poster outside. They have no idea what we do here, am I correct? We have Leah and Sophia in the back, and they just happened in. Now, most people come here for the first time with a friend or someone who says, oh, I go here on Thursday nights, or I took the course, or whatever. So this is bringing me right back to my first exploration of when I came actually to our retreat house up in the Catskills, Peace Village, which we talk about now and then, which is beautiful. And they're open spring, fall, summer for courses and things. But I walked in cold, and I didn't know where I was going, and a bunch of friends said, come on, we're going away for the weekend. And I said, where are we going? And they said, oh, this place upstate. And there I learned what our concept of a higher power, God, the supreme soul, we call him. You've never heard this language from us. So I know by the end of the hour, you will feel very differently. You've been here a couple of times, right? Yeah, and we have regulars, and we have a whole bunch of people I have to say hello to on Zoom. So good evening, Zoom audience. Thank you for coming, and not too bad tonight out, right? So we do believe in a God that is only pure love. And in this world, we hear a lot of people, just a quickie little course here. We hear a lot of people, God did this to me, or God gave my mother cancer, or whatever. So here we learn, and we study every day, that God is pure love. And if God had a face, we would see him cry when he sees how unhappy we are with what the world has turned into right now. But it's something that we learn to accept, and we learn to turn inward, where we greet each other with the words Om Shanti. And Om Shanti means peaceful soul, right? Sorry. I am a peaceful soul. In other words, that's my innate nature. Peace, love. And from that comes all the virtues. And we tend to study to live in those virtues and to know who we really are. And we believe that we are, each one of us, a soul that is eternal, and it contains all the lovingness anyone could desire, just ready for it. So it's interesting that this evening Sister Anjani is going to be talking about love, compassion, and balance. And she asks a very nice question in the flyer. Is there more love in the world than we can absorb? Interesting. Can the love of God be unlimited, without end? And are we, here's what struck me, and are we able to receive that love? Are we able to embrace it and accept it? What happens to us? We feel like we're looking for love in all the wrong places. We feel as though everyone has somebody and we don't. We feel sorry for ourselves that we can't have. There's a hole in the soul. We have all these expressions. So I'm very curious about what Sister Anjani has to say this evening about being able to depend on and count on not only a source of light, but that we are made in the image of that source, and that we can give it and we can take it if we're free enough, right? So here she is. She always sneaks up on me. Welcome. And before you leave, we have a little blessing card and a toli, which is a sweet that we make here, so you go out with a little something. And if you'd like to give us your email address, I have all yours, right? If you want to, we'll just inform you of what's going on if you want to come back. Okay, all right, Sister Anjani, welcome.
And good evening, and again, warm welcome to those who are first time here. And it's like always, sometimes there is an attraction, and love is always a big attraction. whether it's personal love or God's love or animals' love or any form that love manifests itself, we are drawn to it, we are pulled. And really, life has to be lived with love. If we don't live life with love, then we feel very empty. We feel very insecure. We feel, it's like a pain inside, because the pain is calling for love. Whether to give love or whether to be loved. Most of the time we are looking that someone should love us. And when someone doesn't love us the way we think we should be loved or we want that love, sometimes things don't work out well. Things change. Whether it's with a friend, whether it's in relationships, whether it's parents and children, it could be who. But love is a very, very important quality in our lives. And this month is the month of love. Happy Valentine's to all. Next week, Saturday, is Valentine's. So happy Valentine's in advance, because I wouldn't be here to say happy Valentine's to you. And so think about this month of love, not only a day of love. Because if you think of the month of love, it will become a lifetime of love. But I'm starting with this moment to understand and recognize that how important is love. What does love feel like? I remember there was one person whom I was very connected and very close with years ago. She passed on, and she used to say to me, "But what is love? Anjani, what is love?" And I would say, "What do you think is love?" And we would have a chit-chat, a dialogue going on with what is love. Because is it every day someone telling you, "I love you, I love you, I love you"? Is that what love is? And when someone doesn't, that same person doesn't tell you, "I love you," then what happens? And so what world are we living in? Are we living in a world of expectation, hoping that someone is going to constantly tell me that they love me? And then one day you wake up and you realize that, no, I'm not having the same experience of that love. And so it's that love. And what is very interesting is that the moment you don't have that feeling from another person talking to you with that same feeling of love, you know it. They don't have to tell you much, but you just know it, that you know what, something is missing here. And then you start recognizing love is missing. And this is where in relationships, these are qualities that is very, very important, is compassion and love and having that balance. The balance of knowing, the balance of whether it's, speaking and thinking. I need to have a balance. I need to have a balance between love and law. I need to have a balance in life, but I also need to come from a very compassionate heart. And really, what does compassion means to us? If we look at all these qualities, we're actually all the time looking for it to come from outside. Someone should be it for me. Someone should be giving it to me. And again, we wake up to realize that just like love, no one is going to be it for me. Everyone is asking for the same thing. They're inside of each soul, and this is where, for those who are new, we talk here a lot about the soul. The soul means I'm the living being, I'm the light, I'm the pure energy, and I operate this body. just like you drive your car. You, the soul, you're driving this body. You're using this body, you're commanding this body. You're the one who is seeing through these eyes, speaking through the mouth, using all the sense organs. But how do I use them? When I'm in that awareness of the soul, I'm able to use them with love, with respect, with compassion. Sometimes we have pain and we ignore the pain, so I'm not being compassionate to my body. I'm not being compassionate at that time to my body because it's hurting, it's talking to me, it's telling me something, and I'm saying, no, I have to get this done. No, this is why, I'm here to do this, and I need to make it happen. Now, this is where I have to stop and pause and see, what is it that I'm doing to one is to the self as a soul, and what am I doing to the body? And basically, it starts with what I'm doing to myself. I'm giving to myself a feeling at that moment, I'm disrespecting myself as a soul. And then I'm disrespecting the body that I'm in. But can I pause for a moment and step back and say, okay, what am I doing here? Can I request some changes? Can I request something? I have to, go back into thinking and seeing what I'm doing and recognizing it. So when I think of compassion, today we think that nurses and doctors should have a lot of compassion, right? But they are so busy. They might spend 3 minutes with you when you expect them to spend 10 minutes with you. Now, how do I come from a compassionate feeling and compassionate thinking towards someone who is so busy? Do I see that they only stayed 3 minutes with me? Or do I say, oh, you know what? Maybe I don't need that much time. Just be essenseful, straight, clear in your thinking, preparing yourself to go see these busy doctors so that you have what you need rather than just taking the time thinking, I need to know a lot more when I could have done my homework. So it's like I also check these things to see that I'm not demanding more out of someone who is busy. So I feel that's also a form of compassion, because they have compassion for us when we go to them into trying to help us with what's happening with the body. But how can I give the return of compassion to those who care for us? So think along those lines about yourself and see how am I living my life? I'm not living just for the sake of living, waking up in the morning, doing the same thing throughout the day, and life goes on. It goes on, same thing. Aren't you going to be bored? Doing the same thing? Yeah? Do you get bored? Same thing? Do you ever say that I'm doing the same thing? You just know exactly what you're going to do. This is what I'm going to do at this time of the day. This is what I'm going to do at this time. One is to plan, but the other is to, enjoy the moment, create something new in the moment, and feel the difference in the moment. And then you will find that none of that would apply to you, of being bored. But unlimited love, what does unlimited love look like? Do we have unlimited love? Can we have unlimited love? What do you think, Devorah? Do you think we can have unlimited love? 1 second. She's bringing the mic.
Hello, Om Shanti. Unlimited love is huge. It sounds to me like the ocean of love, and it happens through relationship. To cultivate, the memory of who I am as a soul, and through, as a soul, I can connect to Baba.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is an experience. Now I can have all forms of experiences, very deep experiences. It's hard to put in words.
Mm-hmm.
But I get to know who my essence is. It takes its time, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. And I also connect to, what holds me back and obstacles. And you can dissolve it and grow and become more and more unlimited through that. So Baba is really there to make me remember that I can be more unlimited and maybe really unlimited,
Right.
through experience. And we have this lifetime to do that.
Right.
That brings inner love, peace, connectedness, and unity. And more unity with the self, but also more unity with the environment and others.
Right. Great.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. And so she just used the word Baba. And just to translate Baba, it's a Hindi word for father. So it's a relationship that we have with God. And, when we think of love, it's something that is more general feeling, but when we think of unlimited love, there is a difference. Love could be where I love you, but it's okay if I don't love this one. I could love the planet, but it's, many things on planet, but it's okay if I don't love few of them. Some people will say, I don't have love for animals. And there are those who will cry if their animals die. And so see what love looks like in a human world. But the love that each one of us we're seeking for, the love that each one of us, what we need and what we want to feel, is a love that has no condition to it. It is a love that is so pure and clean and divine. It is a love that goes beyond my mistakes, goes beyond my needs, goes beyond anything that is of a physical domain. And you know what is interesting? Every living soul on planet Earth needs that love. Even the animals, you look at them, if you're not a nice person to them, how do they respond to you? How do they react to you?
They're sad.
They're sad.
And they're abused.
And they're happy when you return home. They're there waiting for you, the door open, and the little doggy wag its tail, and is so happy. And so just think about a love that has no condition. A love that doesn't judge you. A love that knows that you don't know that you are love. And that love belongs to God. That only God can love us in that way. Because He, that I'm using the word He says like Father, knows and understands that I don't recognize that love deeply in myself. I don't feel that love deeply in myself. But that is a love that understands, God's love will understand that I don't know it. And how would that love help me to recognize my love?
You're describing a loving parent. And I just wanted to say that when I learned the word Baba here, it's like daddy, if I were translating it into the English. It's a loving father. It's someone who has great joy when we're happy. That's what I've learned here.
And so that is not a theoretical love. It's an experiential love. And this is where I always remember when I came and I started this meditation, and I recognize God as the ocean of love. It literally melted the heart. It pulled me away from the attractions of the many other forms of love, pulling me towards a love that is so pure, so highest, that the love that I felt from God was the love now I can share with those whom I had love for, or whom I was taking love from. Does it make sense? One is to take love, everyday relationship. We're actually taking from each other. We're feeding off each other. And this is why I was saying earlier that when we don't get that, how do we feel? And this is what destroys relationships, because love is missing. And here is this unconditional being, God, the Supreme, who is my daddy, my parent, and who can, give that love or share that love with me that I don't need to ask. I don't need to think. I just need to be in the presence. It's like two friends, or mother-daughter, or you see some people, they have very good relationships. Their presence helps them. Their presence satisfies them. But this is a love that, I'm trying to see how do one put that love in a context, in a very human way. And for me, I would go back to the moment when I recognized that I am a soul and God is the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Light, the Supreme Source, the Supreme Power. It's a separation in consciousness of soul and body, in thinking, and a connection that starts helping me to feel my own love, that I am love. When I was awakened to that I am love, I was drawn to the ocean of love. And being pulled to the ocean of love, what starts happening within the soul, the thoughts starts to change, the feelings started to change. The expectations starts slipping away. I start recognizing where my connection was outside of needing from that. I start receiving from the source. And as the source, feeling from the source, that love spreads across. And that's when I felt the changes that starts happening in a very natural way. Like people want to lose weight. They make a lot of effort. Jogging, running, dieting, doing all those things. A lot of effort one makes, right? Same with love. People make a lot of effort for love. And with God's love, do I need to make effort for God's love? Really, for love we don't need to make effort. For love we just need to experience. We just need to feel. And the more we feel, everything becomes natural. Do we like to make effort, a lot of struggles in life, or do we like things to be easy? What do we like? Easy? Everyone likes easy? Yeah? Is life difficult or easy? Difficult? Yeah? What do you think? Life is difficult or easy? It's difficult, right? Yeah? Who thinks life is easy? No? You can turn difficult into easy. You can be a magician. Yeah? Is life difficult? Is the situations in our lives difficult? And so if it is difficult, I have to go back and ask myself why it is difficult. Is it the people out there, they are difficult? The scenes of life, it's difficult? And so if it is difficult, then what am I going to do? Stay with it and keep thinking it's difficult? Or can I do something to make a difference? And the difference starts with my thinking. And the difference is, I'm lacking with the feeling of love. Sometimes I see just to lift this vase from here and put it somewhere else can become difficult. Because if I think it should be like this, then it's going to be difficult if someone moves it, right? Isn't that so? But if I think it's beautiful as it is, then there is no difficulty there. And so in life we have to look and see all the things that we are creating and making difficult for ourselves. And it really starts with our thoughts, how I'm thinking. Can I make a difference? So think about it, because all of these things which are difficult is going to separate me from God. It's not going to bring me close. I might be praying, I might be reading the scriptures, I might be doing so many things which I think will take me close to God, but I wouldn't be able to reach God. I'm actually separating myself from God with all these thoughts. And so I have to go back to the simplicity in the soul, go back to the feeling inside and having that compassion for the self, and that feeling of love, that it's okay. You know, I was 2 days ago I went to Miami, and I was really appreciating something very profound for me was in this center there are so many things that goes on happening. You're always preparing for something, one thing finished, you're preparing for something else. And it's constantly something that's happening, and so it's a thinking. And then I went to our center in Miami, and it was so quiet because I didn't take my noise with me. As soon as I entered, my thoughts became quiet. It's not that I'm not quiet here, but as I said, if you have a lot of activities that you're engaged in, then thoughts will be there for that. But going there because I was going for a purpose, but even the purpose that I was going for seemed insignificant at that moment. In that moment where it's totally quiet space. And I reflected back on that and I said, you know, it's a very beautiful experience to be in that environment where you don't have to think. And sometimes we need to give ourselves and be kind to ourselves where I can be, where I don't need to think about anything else. And that's love, that's loving the self. That's caring for myself. And it helps us to be with that unlimited source of love. I'll just read to you something that I was sitting at the table and Sister Louise prepares these little tent cards. And I really liked it. And it's a feeling of, if God has to tell me something, what is He going to tell me in terms of love? And see the twist to it. When someone does something that is not right, this is where, think of the parent teaching, giving an explanation, or making us to see something that will help us to be a better person. See it through that lens. When someone does something that is not right, you try to give him teachings, you correct, like this, like this. And some people say, I will put this one right. Right? They hurt you. So you say, okay, I will put this one right. The most elevated method of giving teachings is to do it in the form of forgiveness. The most elevated method of giving teachings is to do it in the form of forgiveness. Your teachings will then work. If you are not merciful, those teachings will go in one ear and out the other. They will not be imbibed. You will not be it. And that's where the difficulty comes in. By giving teachings in the form of forgiveness, the thing you want for someone not to do something will happen. True love turns even stone to water. True love turns even stone to water. So the lesson in this, what is the lesson that each one can take in this? Who wants to share? Yeah? When someone does something that is not right, you try to, tell them something. Sometimes people get into arguments with this. And so, how do we help in this situation? How do we make a difference in this and use forgiveness?
Anyone translate that into their own experience?
Forgiveness.
It's hard, especially when you have someone in front of you who's misbehaving or really being, or you're bombarded with a lot of stuff from the outside world. How do you translate this into peace, right? Anybody?
And how are you able to forgive someone who is not doing something right to you? Do you have the power to forgive?
I think I do have the power to forgive, but it took me a long time. And one was a specific exercise about one scene where it took me 2 years or years. But once something that is bigger gets resolved, you can resolve other issues, forgive much faster. You can forgive yourself better also. So yes, it is actually freeing and an ongoing opportunity to free yourself, to become your real self in action.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
It was worth the work.
Forgiveness is actually very freeing, very liberating. Forgiveness will work like like a bird in a cage and the bird flies away. It's a freedom. Because it's only when I have the power to forgive can I have the power to love. If I can't forgive, I can't love. And so our hearts will become cold, because what I'm carrying inside of me is the mistakes of others. I'm carrying the things that people have done to hurt me. And so what is love then? That is why this question would come up. What is love? Yes.
I find that the ego gets in the way because we want to sometimes put ourselves in a position of being right and making the other person wrong and all of this. And even someone you love, even someone you're married to or with, there is a feeling of you shouldn't talk to me that way, or how can you not agree with me? But I think it's a beautiful thing when we can accept wherever the other person is coming from, and if they're misbehaving in any way, or really being hard to deal with, not to judge it. The minute I have compassion and say, oh, he's having a bad day, or something like that, the minute I can do that, I win. And I've elevated my energy. My energy comes from a new place. Instead of my ego being in charge, my ego went to sleep, And I love doing that. When someone expects you, especially if you've been feisty all your life, as I have, I was always a fighter and I always had to come out on top. And I love being here because I've learned to tone that down a lot. And when it comes to someone expecting you to be the old you, aggressive, and I'm right and you're wrong, and I surprise them by not being that person, people will come up to me and tell me how I've changed. It's really amazing.
Right.
Not that I can do it all the time, but I have to try.
Well, when you keep doing it, then it becomes your personality, and then many things starts to change in that feeling of forgiveness. It's okay. Everyone will have to do how they know how to do, but we tend to think everyone should do the way I want them to do, and so all of that creates the distractions in our lives that doesn't allow us to be or to let anyone else be. So how to just keep stepping back, and yet you have to play your part. If you're a parent in the home and you have little children, you can't leave the children. You have to help them. You still have to do the things you have to do, but from what consciousness, from what place in the heart that the soul is doing what it has to do. You are a wife or a husband or whoever, you still have to play your part. You're at work, you have to play your part. So wherever we are, we still have to do the things we do. But then, how do I do it? And even how do I respond even to what's not so pleasant is also important. Because all of that helps, for us not to carry feelings, pick up the things which are not so pleasant, and then we start using it in our lives, and then we find that a lot of thoughts that comes, it doesn't make us happy. It just creates uneasiness and unpleasant feelings, because what I am playing with and thinking, playing with means I keep thinking about it, is not bringing me the benefit. Does it make sense? So think about love, your own self. How much love do I have for myself? Start from that place of love, that I am love, This is who I am. You know, everyone shows this sign easily of love, right? Wherever you go. But is that love? But yes, that moment, can I feel that yes, I am love? So use every moment to generate an energy inside of love. That how do I spread that love out there, which is a pure love? But even before I take that step to spread that love, let me go to the source of love. Experience love that is true, understanding, compassionate, forgiving, a love that is so powerful, unique, a love that transforms or melts stone and make it into water. Feel that form of love, the love that comes from God. And then as the soul receives that love, now can I spread that love out into the world? So what we're going to do now is to experiment with these 3 steps in meditation. Moving into the self to feel the love, moving beyond to feel God's love, and third is to serve humanity with love. Okay? So let's sit comfortably. Become aware of this true quality of love, a love that is filled with compassion, with kindness, forgiveness, caring. Feel each quality. And I am the soul that is love. I know when someone loves me, and I also know when someone rejects me. I can recognize both. But when there is true love, the experience of rejection fades away, and only true love remains. There is the power to give where there is love. Give, give, and forgive because of true love. And each one of us have that true quality in the soul. The moment I tell myself, I am love, there is the feeling in the heart that opens up to that thought, to that experience, to that truth, that I am love. And it is this pure love that the soul recognizes in itself, that I connect to the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Source of love, the one who's the ocean of love, unlimited, a love that has no boundaries, a love that sets the soul free. There is freedom in God's love. feel that freedom in yourself to be able to let go whatever the soul is holding on to. Receiving God's love fills the soul that I'm able to let go in a very easy and natural way. Let go. Someone said something. Someone did something. Let it go. And let love flows. It is this pure experience of God's love which teaches the soul how to love, because God fills the soul with His love from this presence. In this moment of feeling God's love gives me the highest gift, the gift of love. It's a love that makes the soul, creates the most beautiful thoughts and feelings. The feeling of love. A love that has kindness. Feel that kindness in your own self. Feel the sweetness in the soul. It is the soul's true nature of being. I am. And the more the soul is in this form of love, the attraction, the pull, just the experience to be with that supreme source of love becomes easy. Allow the waves of this love to flow into the soul. And let this wave of love reaches everyone who is looking for love, knowingly or unknowingly. This energy of love touches hearts, melting away the sadness, melting away the uncertainties of life. Because God's love is very powerful. Just feel yourself for a moment. And tell yourself, I am in the company of the ocean of love. Even if there are differences in relationships, I am in the company of the ocean of love. even as I'm trying to find something that I feel someone else should give to me, or they have not been kind to me, in this moment feel I am in the company of the ocean of love. It is so easy to let go as the ocean of love flows into the soul. It is so easy to feel the worthiness in the soul. It is so easy to return to what is truth in the soul because of God's love. God's love transforms everything that is difficult into easy. So all the things that I experience as being difficult, surrender it to God. Don't take it back home. Tell your heart, I don't need pain. I don't need sorrow. I don't need suffering. In the company of God, there is the purest divine form of love. Just let go and let that love flows. It's the love of the parent to the child, or even from the friend who is the ocean of love to another friend. It is a love that holds no weakness, only strength. It is a love that teaches me to love, because the soul feels this form of love, which is truth. That which is impossible becomes possible because of God's love. Love doesn't need too many words. Love is the feeling of the heart. Even through the eyes, love is visible because it is felt. Where there is love, everything is easy. Ask the self, what is difficult in my life right now. Put that situation up on the screen of your mind. Is that situation coming from a person? Is it coming from what I need? Check and see. And feel yourself surrendering. Using the power of God's love. See yourself so separate from the situation, from the person. And feel that true love that you have within you. Om Shanti. So I'm hoping that tonight everyone will feel a little closer to what you have within you that is so rich, is so pure, is so divine, and not getting caught up too much with the external, forgetting what is so rich in the self. Because each one, each soul has this quality of love and has the right to experience God's love. And so take this opportunity, this time, to allow yourself to spend the time with God, so that let God's love flow into the soul to separate you from all the things that troubles, that creates difficulties, that creates waste, that creates a lot of disheartenment. Let it go and be free. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. And it's a new habit that we need to form. I live in two worlds. One of them is sometimes very ugly out there, but nobody can touch my inner world. And that's what we do here. And we hope we see you again. Next week, we have a little panel, and we have two special guests. I'll be moderating, and we have a sister from Manhattan Center, and we have a sister from, I mentioned Peace Village before, we have a sister from Peace Village coming to talk about the theme of the month, love and compassion and balance. And do come. And we are on Zoom also, but we'd love to see you in person, get to know the new people, and the old people. I guess any other announcements?
I think we're
Course is
Meditation
starting
class starts next week, Monday.
next week,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it goes on for the month.
and it's evenings, right?
Yeah,
Is it
6:30 to 7:30.
3 days, and then the next week three nights.
Yes, so the new meditation class begins next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the month, rest of the month.
Good. Anyone's interested? Okay. Any questions, comments? On your way out, we have a little something for you, and
Okay,
if you want to
Om
sign up.
Shanti. Thank you, those on
Yeah.
Zoom.
Goodbye, Zoom. Thank
Good
you,
night, and
Narayan,
Om
up there.
Shanti.
Okay.
Yes,
Om
thank you.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.